remain standing. Were breaking even or making a profit, we handed that to them. They inherited a cocoa production of more than 960,000 metric tons of cocoa, with a cocoa board that was making profit and owed only 1.5 billion cedis to the central bank for cocoa bills. We handed over to them 2 new oil-producing wells, the 10th field and the EWE Atopa, which increased Ghana's oil production by more than 100,000 barrels per day, with additional gas of more than 200 million standard cubic feet per day. And this increased Ghana's oil revenues from petroleum by more than $500 million every year. We took over from our administration a stabilization fund in which we had accrued $277 million. A Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund received money of $270 million. A sinking fund account at the Bank of Ghana with a balance of over $200 million. We inherited a budget that ran a deficit of 6.1%, with zero borrowing from the central bank, the Bank of Ghana, 0%. Inflation was at 15.4%. Unemployment was at 8.4%. And when we handed over the administration of this country to the Atopa government, Ghana's debt as a percentage of our GDP was 56%. As a result of fiscal consolidation, we handed over an economy that was set to grow above 8%, as predicted by the World Bank and IMF and all the credit rating agencies. Private businesses enjoyed an enabling environment to thrive, and foreign investors were queuing to make investments in our economy. The NDC government also took off with a stabilized economy and significant buffers with enormous domestic and internal goodwill. Indeed, this has been the most favored government in our history. But alas, the Ghanaian people's favor, their goodwill, has been repaid with only pain and anguish. This government has received more revenue than all governments combined in the history of Ghana. And as the saying goes, to whom much is given, much is expected. Unfortunately, the people of Ghana have been severely shortchanged by this administration. The scorecard of this administration has been abysmal. An inflation rate that went as high as 54% and is currently still hovering above 20%. Ghana today has one of the highest food inflation rates in the whole of Africa. We have a currency that has depreciated to almost 16 cities to $1 US, and we borrowed more than 70 billion from the central bank, the Bank of Ghana, causing a serious upset in inflation and causing the Bank of Ghana to go broke. We have a debt to GDP that went as high as 104%, and today the unemployment rate is almost 15%, from just about 8% in 2016. Worst of all, Ghana has defaulted on her debt payments and has therefore engaged in a debt exchange that has resulted in painful haircuts, and they have deferred the tenure of bonds at lower interest rates. This has caused a lot of trouble for investors, including pensioners. Cocoa production, which has been one of the mainstays of our economy, has plummeted, and for the first time in the history of our country, the Borbobor annual syndication, which was sought after by all international banks, today it has no takers. Nobody is willing to lend Borbobor any money. Production volumes are down, and Borbobor is seeking to delay delivery of almost 350,000 tons of cocoa to next year. It means that your government, NDC, is the one going to have to find the 350,000 to fill that hole, pay the debt. Borbobor has also defaulted on almost 13 billion Ghana cedis in cocoa bonds. Oil and gas production has declined by 32%, and debt to independent power producers has increased astronomically. Today, the majority of state-owned enterprises are posting massive losses. The COVID pandemic, rather than being an adversity, turned out to be a blessing, with a windfall for this government of almost 25 billion Ghana cedis of inflows, most of which were rolled out to companies owned by family and friends. The majority of our citizens are convinced that our country, Ghana, is going in the wrong direction. Faith in our democracy is at its lowest, and many of our youth do not believe that constitutional governance is working for them. Faith in our democratic institutions and the political leadership is at its lowest ebb, and corruption is at its highest, and Ghanaians have become numb to the scandals that are exposed almost every week. And you have a president who says he does not understand the hullabaloo that is being made about the sale of state hotels to a minister in his own government, then clearly he is on a completely different wavelength from the rest of us.